quite often you're going to run into situations where you're going to want to reduce the amount of decimal places that are generated by a double. Sometimes it's as a result of a long calculation that you've done, or sometimes it might be because of a round off error, which can sometimes happen. So this is a quick way to format decimal places without having to include any additional classes. So we're going to create a variable that is going to hold the formatted version of our double. So I'm going to call it double format, so that I can remember what it is. So for this example, I'm going to have a double and double n. And n here is going to be equal to 123 point, and I'm just going to run my finger down the keyboard, 123.456789. So what I want to do is I want to show this with only 2 decimal places instead of all of this extra stuff. Okay, so what I would do is, if I'm just looking to print it out, we can use system.out.format. And this is a lot like the same, well, this is the same format that we use for making tables, but I'm going to use it here for a float value. So a float value meaning it is a value with decimal places. So I set it up like this. Percent, because this is what we always do for a formatted value. 0.2 sets it as 2 decimal places, and then an F here tells me that I'm going to give it a float. I put a comma and then the value that I actually want formatted. So here, if I run this, what it's going to do, you'll notice that it did round up the value. So this is how formatting works for this. It'll round up the value, which is usually like, because we're not going to be doing any calculations with this, that's usually what we want to end up with, is a rounded value if we're taking off some decimal places. And just to demonstrate that we can also put a value here, I'm going to do the same thing, except in reverse. So I'm going to have 987 point, and I'll run my finger the other way. There we go. So if I run this, forgot format doesn't skip lines. So system.out.println. There we go. I'm going to run that. There we go. I get my 2 formatted values just the way that I wanted. Now, the other thing is using this string value. Dot format is essentially, this creates a string that out displays down here. But we can also use this to store into a string value. So watch this. We'll make double format gets the value of, we're going to access something from the string class. So format exists in the string class, and what we're going to do is put the exact same thing here. So I will take this, put it there, and I am going to system.out.println. So I like this a little bit better because I commonly like to do printlns when I'm printing, obviously. So println, and I'll just put final number, and we'll add on the double format, and you'll see that it'll give me the same result. Oh, of course, We've got to keep our printlns here. You see, this is why I like doing it this way. That way I can keep all my printlns and I don't end up with this formatting issue. There we go. So you can also do it like this. So this has a couple different ways. They're easy. Of course, you can put more than 2 decimal places, but this way you won't have to include any additional classes to Java while you're formatting your numbers in however many decimal places you desire.